Hello, everyone. Today we're just going to do a quick tour of the homestead for our friends and family and everyone subscribed. So come along. So here we are, 1 year in at Northern Lights Homestead. We are very remote. A lot of our friends and family don't get to see our place. They get to watch our videos and see little bits of our place here and there. We started making these videos to kind of keep track and document everything we're doing here and have something to look back on, kind of a video diary. And we thought we would start sharing that with our friends and family. And now we have some subscribers that are also following along in our journey. And we thought we would give everybody kind of a broader look at what we've got and what we've done here. And so we started with this place, a 13-acre lot, not a whole lot of development to it, just a house and some outbuildings, and very overgrown yards and overgrown tree lines. This is our newest addition, the greenhouse. Some of you may have seen that in our other videos. I think we've had it in a couple others. Anyway, we weren't sure what the soil makeup was here. Our environment and our grow season is very short. So we started with a greenhouse because we need to make our own food. We did not get a chance to do that last year, except for a few tomatoes and peppers. I'm very happy of the way this turned out. We've got a ton of tomatoes and peas and cucumbers and all kinds of varieties of pepper. And we even got a couple of cantaloupe and watermelons in the back there. We're not sure if they're going to make it, but fingers crossed they do. And yeah, so we're very proud of this. This is one of our most important things is being able to grow our own food. So from the greenhouse, we can travel into our yard here. And again, it was very overgrown. There just wasn't a whole lot of activity here for the last several years. So we've potted a lot of plants, and we brought some bees into the yard, and we've gotten lucky enough to catch a couple of other swarms. So we now have several bee houses in the yard. Houses were the first swarm. If you've watched any of those videos, you saw me being an idiot and climbing up in trees to catch a swarm of bees. And that's our original swarm back there that we purchased from a gentleman down the road. And they've been quite productive. And this is our newest little swarm that we caught. It was only a few thousand bees. So yeah, we're kind of helping them along. Hopefully we can get them to survive through the winter and they can thrive next year. And we've got their little watering hole here, some kind of water fountain that's been here that we kind of just converted to a little bee watering hole. And we planted a couple of hazelnuts, and we found a crabapple tree on the property that was just about dead that we trimmed up and watered up, and she's going to produce a bunch of crab apples for us this year, so we're super happy about that. And then off here to the west is our bee farm, or our bee feed, I'm sorry. This is just a small plot of the property that we let overgrow because it is full of clover and dandelion and plantain and all kinds of good things, healthy things for us, but also for our bees. We don't like them necessarily feeding on the commercial fields that we're surrounded by. So we let that come up, and then in the fall we'll cut that back, and a lot of it will get dried out for food for our rabbits. And yeah, so we've got our little baby run here, which looks kind of rickety, but that's where we raise the baby chicks until we integrate them in with the big hens. And they kind of like it. It lets them get outside and be in the yard and be out and around the chicks. So we've got the house in the garage here. Nothing really fancy to see there. It's your run-of-the-mill 1950s farmhouse, and still has a bit of work to do in it. We got a workshop here. That's a holy mess, but I know where everything is, so we're not going to go in there and bother you with that too much. Hascaps, or honeyberries. These are our first three. They did produce berries this year. Super happy about that. Looking forward to seeing these guys get nice and big. We did visit a local farm here right down the road, and I'm super excited to see these guys get as big as theirs and produce the amount of berries that theirs are. If you're not familiar with them, we did a short video on these guys. They are native to this area. The University of Saskatchewan created them. They are one of the best berries I've ever had. Something between a blueberry and a raspberry. Delicious and super healthy. And this is our garden. This was a bit experimental this year. We were not sure what the soil makeup was going to be. We did a bunch of testing. We were really low on some things and high on others. So we just kind of scratched in to the earth and put some seeds in, hoping for the best. And as you can see, in some areas it's doing much better than others. We've got some low areas and definitely nutrient depletion. So we're going to do some correction here in the fall with our manure and our compost. And then, yeah, we're super happy with it so far, though. Next year, we're hoping to double or triple up on this garden and produce even more food. These are our potato cages, which we're super happy with. This was kind of an experimental thing we stole from somebody else's YouTube channel. They basically just take wire fencing and wrap it, and you stack straw and soil, and in each soil bed you place your potato seeds, and these things are just going insane. So we're looking forward to breaking into those here in the fall and seeing what we got for potatoes. For any of you out there getting into chickens and you have a little space, this is our first year. We're trying to produce as much of our own food as we can, including for our animals. We've had a lot of heavy rain and wind, so it's a little laid down right now, but we're going to get this cut up and dried out, and it's some food for the chickens. So we've got our wheatgrass that we've always grown for the last few years. We tried oats, which is a good cover crop, and it's actually good for replenishing the nutrients in the soil. So we're going to probably plant a lot more of that. And then we've got some sunflowers here and back there, the giant variety. So these guys will produce big 10, 12-inch heads, lots and lots of sunflowers. The chickens love them. The wild birds love them. So yeah, we should end up with a lot of those. And it's great for the bees too. Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking for bee food, late season bee food, plant some giant sunflowers. Your bees will love them. And they like the corn as well too. So, all right. So we went ahead and put in a ton of fencing, and we broke off some pastures. So we have our main summer pasture here. We've got a north pasture here that we keep them off of that will be fall and winter pasture. So the grass is a good 5 feet tall in there right now. Even with a good heavy early snowfall, they'll still be able to go in there and eat, which will stop us from having to feed hay. And then we'll go to the barns. Now, we have showcased these buildings in a lot of other videos. This was a very dilapidated old Quonset. It was pretty much a shell. We've done a lot of work to this. It still looks really rough. That's just the outside, but it works for us functionally. We were able to put in a nice big chicken run here, which have been showcased in a lot of our other videos. This is our winter space for the chickens. This allows them to get out of the coop and have some space to kind of meander around and you know, not be tied up in a tiny little 10 by 10 coop all winter. Obviously, we have hay storage. It's a little early in the season, but we went ahead and we like to stock up, and all summer long we'll collect hay as we can, make sure we have enough to get into our cold winter months. And then back here, we'll try to throw up some before pictures, but there was just a couple of lean-to stalls here. We went ahead and ripped all of that out, and I went ahead and put in these big stalls. As you can see, large enough to accommodate a giant lazy horse. Hey, buddy, you having a nap? Yeah. And they seem to love it in here. It gets them out of the bugs in the summer, gets them out of the really cold in the winter. We were super grateful and super fortunate to have this building on this property. And in the past at our other homestead, we had just lean-to shelters. This has allowed us to expand on our homestead quite a bit, provide nice warm shelter for our animals in the cold winters. I mean, it gets -40s, -45s here in the winter. That's Celsius and Fahrenheit, so it's pretty much the same at that point. And having this shelter it allows us to sleep at night. And we've got our little goat pen here, which we're going to expand on because this little one's going to get impregnated this fall, and we're looking forward to having little baby goats in the spring, and they have their own little run in the back there. And we've got an extra stall here we put in, and we're going to put in another one here down the road. This is just being used for our straw storage right now, but this stall is the same size as these other ones and can accommodate our hopefully our new mama and her baby, because we'll keep her separate until the babies are large enough to fend for themselves and everything. And we got our little tack area over here. And upstairs here is just a big giant loft. Not much to see up there, but lots of extra storage and stuff. So we went ahead and shored this thing up and make sure we get as many years as we need out of it anyway. And like I said, it doesn't look pretty, but folks, sometimes aesthetics aren't important. Sometimes functionality is all you need. So keep that in mind when you're looking for properties, or if you're out there searching for your homestead. Don't worry about aesthetics. The horses and the animals are going to destroy it anyway. So, all right. Last but not least is our chicken coop. Now, this thing has been in a lot of our videos, so any of our subscribers and people watching the videos have probably seen enough of this thing. Again, an old grain bin that we kind of converted into a chicken coop. So if you're out there searching for a homestead and you're wanting to come up with ideas, just look at everything and anything as a potential housing for an animal, and you can create it. And this was just an empty shell of a grain bin, and we got some recycled plywood from old pallet and packaging material, and we bought very little for this thing. We bought a few 2x4s and some electrical wiring. The rest was all salvaged, more or less. Even the insulation was all sheep's wool. And in the chicken coop, our newest, or one of the newest projects, is creating food for our chickens, like we showed in the garden. And this is our worm farm. Not my favorite part of the homestead, but definitely important. If you have chickens, they love the mealworms, and they're fairly easy to create on your own. So we'll do a video on that. And not only now do you have a fresh food supply, you don't have to dehydrate them if you don't want to. You can just feed them directly to the chickens. All right. And again, we've showed this in other videos, but we've got our big outside run here. Now this kind of doubles as a few things. The chickens will come out here in the winter. We'll kind of shovel it up and gives them a little bit of space to run around. But also the young ones, right now it's a little overgrown. We've gotten a lot of rain. I just cut all this down not even a week ago. So as you can see what the moisture does to the grass around here. But anyway, it's all sealed in. We went 7 feet high with the chicken wire. It's pretty well secured, so we can put our baby animals. We had some pigs last year. We kept in here while they were young until they were safe enough to be out on their own. The goats spent some time in here. The chickens, the rabbits, they all love to spend time in here and run around. All right, well, thanks for watching. That's pretty much a nutshell of what we've gotten done. We hope to keep sharing and keep building on this place, and we want to help people that are looking to do this and show them that it's easy. We haven't paid anybody to do any of this stuff. I have no previous experience in some of these things as far as electrical and plumbing and everything. But when you really dig into projects, it's easy to do. You got to just be willing to learn and make some mistakes and learn from those mistakes. This is just a year's time, and one person, 2 people, more or less, doing all this work. So it is possible. And if you've got kids and other family members that want to get into this lifestyle, by all means, pool your resources together, pool your power together, and you guys can accomplish even more. So thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to follow us on our journey.